And why are you so afraid of the fear? If we want to live without fear, we first have to learn to live with it. There's no way around that. So really consider that. If we are doing anything to get rid of our fear, because it is so unpleasant, we are, without realizing it, simply perpetuating it. That's the first thing to understand. It takes some courage just to understand that. We've been dancing around our fear all our life, managing it, suppressing it, fulfilling it. What are you afraid that the fear will do to you? And why are you so afraid of the fear? I must try to be with my fear. Although, to be honest, I don't really want to. We try to be with it because what we really want to do is get rid of it. That would be an activity of the mind. It's not about trying to do anything. It's nothing to do with an activity of the mind or the cessation of an activity in the mind. Go back to the feeling of fear. Be knowingly the presence of awareness. When I say knowingly, I mean you are that already. You don't have to become that. Just recognize that you are that. Think of awareness just as pure openness, pure sensitivity, pure allowing. It cannot be destroyed or harmed or hurt by any feeling. It doesn't have to be made. It is already and always like that. That is you. If you ask awareness what it thinks or feels about the fear, it doesn't say anything about it. We could say that awareness allows the fear to be. And that's not even true. In order to know fear, we have to know resistance. Fear is resistance. I don't like. Awareness cannot know resistance. It cannot know fear. Empty space doesn't know the meaning of the word resistance or fear. The way to discover this for yourself is to turn towards this feeling of fear so fully, so completely, to allow it into you without the slightest trace of resistance. And then to turn round and see what remains of the fear. Can you do that? Can you allow this fear so completely, even the possibility that it might annihilate you? Or rather, can you see that what you essentially are already allows that so fully, without the slightest resistance to it? Who is saying, I can't bear this, I can't stand this, this is going to overwhelm me? Has awareness ever been overwhelmed? Has any feeling ever veiled or hidden the light of awareness in your experience? But what is it that is going to be overwhelmed or annihilated by fear? The thought of fear, with all the stories that are attached to it. Fear is a sensation in the body. Divested of the story that is attached to that sensation, what is the sensation itself? Explore the sensation. It's like a sensation that is continually changing. It moves around. It becomes more intense. It becomes less intense. Always changing its shape. Go deeply into that vibration. How old is that vibration? When you say it has always been here, you're referring to time. That means you're referring to your thoughts. Refer to the sensation. How long has this current vibration, this amorphous moving vibration, been present? Just now. If you had to describe this sensation, how would you describe it? It's morphing, it's changing, it's shaking, but the shaking is itself a vibration. Is it really unpleasant, the actual sensation itself, or is unpleasantness added by thought? Just leave your thoughts in the background, turn the volume down, and refer directly to the sensation. If you don't think about it, do you know that this sensation is something called fear? Is there any inherent fear in the sensation itself? Go to the sensation at the soles of your feet. Would you label that sensation fear? Or is it just a neutral, amorphous, tingling vibration? Now compare the sensation at the soles of your feet, which is just neutral sensation, and the sensation in your chest. What's the difference between them? A little bit more intense, but apart from that, any difference? Is it as intense as a headache? Could you live with this feeling in your chest for the rest of your life? Every time you say, I can't live with this, you're actually referring to your thoughts, not to your experience of the body, not to your sensation. Just experience the raw sensation without interpretation, without the labels that thought adds to it. This is fear, this is unpleasant, this has been with me for all my life, this is going to annihilate me, etc., etc. None of those thoughts actually belong to the sensation. If you put those thoughts on one side, you don't even have to get rid of them. If you put them on one side, if you don't refer to them, you just refer to the sensation itself. Without referring to thought, you wouldn't even know that this sensation was something called fear. You don't even know it's something called a body, that it has an age or a gender. It's just raw, tingling, vibrating sensation, just made out of knowing. There's no resistance in the sensation. This feeling of being a separate self, a limited self, goes into the body, goes into the breath. It's a kind of constriction. the body and the breath is wound up into a state of tension on behalf of our belief that what I am is a separate, temporary, limited awareness. When we discover that what we truly are is this ever-present, unlimited awareness, the body gradually unwinds in this awareness, gradually relaxes and expands into this open, empty awareness. This very deep, loving contemplation of the body that we do effortlessly releases this constriction. To begin with, the sensation of fear loses gradually each label as it is seen to be untrue, and then in time there is a relaxation. Then for a while you just feel the raw sensation without the labels. The sensation is there only to mimic the presence of a separate self. That is its only function. As the sensation is relieved of all its labels, for a while you just experience the raw sensation, which is neither pleasant nor unpleasant, neither positive nor negative. It's just this vibration of energy. And it gradually loses its tension. It dissipates. It relaxes. It opens up. It melts into the space of awareness. As one sensation dissolves, you may find that another layer of feeling begins to bubble up to the surface. Just go through the same exploration. Sadness is another layer that has been kept successfully at bay all this time, hidden in the body, dictating our thoughts, feelings, activities and relationships from behind the scenes. But now that sadness is coming up into the light of awareness, be very sensitive to the impulse to get rid of that sadness and explore it in the same way. Being very careful not to turn this into a practice that you undertake in order to get rid of unpleasant feelings. It's the opposite. It's just a loving contemplation to discover the truth of our experience. The gradual, eventual dissolution of these feelings is a side effect, an inevitable consequence of this loving contemplation, not its purpose.